I'm going to invite InMotion up to set up their video and do their pitch. So give it up for InMotion. Come on up here. You need the mic? Yeah. So set up. I don't know what you need.
Okay, no
I'm going to time you once you start. Okay? Hello? So I'm gonna do my best to stay out of it, but I'm gonna try to keep us on time and nudge people forward. But I don't want to get in the middle of what's gonna happen here. So just a word, and basically 5 minutes starts from when he gets going.
Just 1 second. No, I'll handle it. Okay. So I guess I'm ready. Okay, so hello everyone. I am Sławek and I'm a founder of InMotion. And we develop sliders. What are sliders? Sliders are devices that move in one direction and the other direction. And I think like, well, it's not cool at all. It is very cool and I'm going to prove you in a minute. So we're developing sliders for over 4 years right now. We've tested our devices in Dakar Rally, on Grand Canyon in USA, in National Day of Qatar, Agent Stars for TVN, and a few other things. Basically all over the world. And yeah, it works pretty fine above, on the other side of the globe too. So in 2016, we have noticed a very interesting trend that DSLRs, so digital single reflection cameras, are dropping by 17% per year in sales. 38% of Flickr images are uploaded from iPhones. 55% of all mobile traffic in internet is related to mobile videos, and 90% of people that upload images to the Facebook doesn't have a professional camera with them. So we've decided to go for a different approach. Instead of doing a regular slider like the one on the left, which costs $1,400, we've decided to go for a mobile first approach. That's $250. And why is it so interesting? Because regular sliders just tell camera what to do. So there's just synchronization with a cable and that's it. And in our case, we've decided to go for a mobile first approach. Why is it so sexy? Because we have many great features that can be taken out from smartphones. Stuff like synchronization, of course, face tracking, connectivity, then memory and filters. And it all creates a very unique device because our camera controls the slider, not the other way around. And thanks to that, we have great, amazing features like, for example, we have plenty of those, but the most important ones will be animation mode, will be for cooking, for example, 360-degree product shots, motion triggering, face following, and social media live streaming. And, well, you might be thinking, well, but it's still a device for folks like that like earning like 2K for a single day of recording. No, it's not. I'm going to show you right now how our device works, and in the meantime, I'll prepare a very short demo. Okay, so just let me play music. Okay, and what I'm about to present you is the skateboarder feature, the motion triggering. There's a IR sensor, and I'm just going to take a step there, and the slider started moving and app started recording automatically. So for example, with a skateboarder, you can create slow motion videos of yourself without your pal having to film you while you're riding a skateboard. So yeah, it's not only for pros, it's for travelers, for fashion bloggers, with face following, for sports people, for dancers, for unboxing, YouTube channels, and so much more. And you still might not believe me, so I'm just going to show you a video that we did. We've asked our community to prepare a video where they show what they like to do. And as you can see, those are regular people like we. It's a very mass product. Yeah, we did make it look like a movie, but really it's just a footage from our community. So yeah, very regular people that are just like you and me. And yeah, our system is composed of the slider that's 297, the cloud which is 449 per month, and mobile app that's free. And what's more, we want to be a startup that knows exactly how to move the slider, the smartphone from point A to B. That's why we've introduced SDK. We're now negotiating an offer for automotive, but despite that, we also have an implementation in Skanska going on, where we just use our slider for thermal vision imaging, and then we can determine the co-working occupancy. So our credibility. Well, we've got a seed investment from Zernica Meta Ventures. We got 200 backers on Kickstarter until Tuesday, and we've got a first place at Skanska Uber Quest. We did in B2B 140K and B2C 270K in sales. And we are InMotion Labs in Poland and InMotion Incorporated in United States. And since we started Kickstarter, we had in 3 hours project we love. In 7 hours we got founded. In 24 hours we got 250,000 PLN. In 30 hours we had press, and we still have 35 days left. So DP Review, Cult of Mac, F-Stoppers, everyone we really wanted to write about us, they did. So exactly, I'm finishing my call to action to you guys, is basically that if I can take 10K with me, it's equals to 2,700 bucks. And with current ROI that we have on ad spendings with Jalop, Israel-based company, it will generate us 16K in sales. So that's it. Thank you so much. And yeah, happy to answer your questions.
Judges, what questions do you have? Make sure the mic's on.
Do you have microphones? Okay.
I'll go first. Are you looking for investment, or is...
Yes, after the Kickstarter, we will be looking for investors because we really see our device as some kind of platform where it's not only a slider, it's going to be also all sorts of different video accessories that are great for bloggers, for sports people, and so on and so on. And we just want to have this little piece as a brain of our system, and then just mechanic design parts that are just going to add some extra features.
And you're looking for investment tonight?
Well, after the Kickstarter, when we see the result. But today, of course, I'm looking for this 10K just to boost our Kickstarter campaign, of course. Yeah, I can give you mine.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for your presentation. How do you differentiate yourself against Lily, for example, which is drones, but they're doing something like that? And how you differentiate yourselves from the pros, the cameras and everything? Because at the end of the day, you are seeking the same public. I do understand. I have worked in the film industry, so I do understand that might be useful for that. And then the second thing is you're manufacturing, but what was the price? Because
of course, I said it in a presentation. It's 297 on Kickstarter, not the early bird, but the regular offer, and it's really like 5 to 6 times cheaper than regular sliders are. And well, drones, gimbals, this is not our direct competitor, those are indirect competitors. Because, for example, when there's a blogger, let's say Jon Olsson, who's a famous skier, then he also have a drone, he has a gimbal, and he has a slider too. So it's just one of those devices that will help him bring those videos to the next level and increase the engagement of his community.
Hi.
Hi.
So where do you produce these?
Well, right now we are manufacturing in Channów, but after Kickstarter, Channów, yeah. But afterwards, after Kickstarter, we're going to manufacture in Shenzhen to make production really scalable. We already have, let's say, owner of a Chinese factory, Jack, who's interested in investing in us by just giving us free production batch. And what's more, we really are looking for more like outsourcing the production, focusing ourselves towards the InMotion cloud, towards the SDK, and just having, let's say, brain in Poland or manufacturing somewhere else.
So how much is it to produce these?
Well, right now it's $90, and we're selling
$90,
and we're selling it for 300. But don't say to Kickstarter.
Sorry, I didn't understand. You already sell this to customers?
Well, we started Kickstarter on Tuesday, and before that we had some sales, of course, but with our past product before we made the pivot to more scalable, let's say, smartphone-based approach with the cloud and everything. But yeah, right now we are just introducing this device to the market on Kickstarter. Right now we are like 76,000 from Tuesday, so not too shabby, I believe.
And where do you want to sell?
Where do we?
Where? What?
Okay, afterwards, or yeah,
Afterwards.
we are discussing that with our current seed investors if we're going to look for e-commerce or we're going to for retail, because I really believe it's one of those devices that can be sold, for example, on the shelf of MediaMarkt. But on the other hand, for us, I think it's easier to get into e-commerce first and just scale their sales just by the conversion rate from Facebook ads and stuff
So
like that.
what would be your markup on the product? Because you need to sell it first to wholesale and then.
Exactly, yes. That's why we'll reduce the manufacturing price afterwards, because right now it's CNC milled, and after Kickstarter we're going for injection mold production. Then we'll drop our production price by roughly around $15 to $20. So we'll be able to give some extra profit margin to retail stores.
So 300 is retail price, right?
Yeah, it will be after Kickstarter, exactly retail price.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
I still believe you're into gadgets, like gimbal, drone. I'm still with fast on that. What's the functionality? Are we talking only about the horizontal sliding, or is it also like 3D like gimbal?
Of course. So, usually sliders move only from left to right, and they cost, let's say, roughly $500 to $1,000. When there's a slider that also moves, it pans, let's say, left to right, then usually it costs roughly around $15,000 to $2,100.
Let me see, how heavy is this?
Well, this is a This is a prototype, so it's
it's
quite
okay,
heavy.
don't worry. So you're talking about me skiing with that on my back,
No,
right?
no.
Or not really.
As I said,
Okay.
right now it's CNC milled, so it's made of heavy aluminum. The final version will be made of ABS plastics, so it will be roughly around 1,100 grams, the final version. So it will be much lighter, yeah.
And I guess the guy who's skiing, you mentioned with gimbal and drone and everything, he's gonna use the slider for something else. So what's that gonna be? What's his use case? Why did he buy your stuff?
Okay. So for example, let's imagine you're a skateboarder. Let's imagine you're a BMX rider. You're on a ramp, yeah, and you're trying to do this bunny hop, let's say, or a kickflip or anything, and you just know you're doing something wrong, and you just cannot figure out what's wrong. So instead of asking your friend, "Hey, can you just film me?" Like,
So the motion detector you're talking about, simply.
yeah, exactly. And then you have slow motion, 240 FPS, and you can.
But that's all software. Software can do it. Software can do slow motion. Software can also do.
Of course, but we are doing
motion
software.
detection.
We are doing, let's say, a whole solution. Not only the slider. We are also doing the software. We are also going to do the
all right,
cloud.
got it. About the team, that's you. Poland, San Francisco. That's always you. Who else is there with you?
Okay, so in total it's like 20 subcontractors, and despite me in our team there are like 10 people. There's, for example, Wojtek, who's been working in automotive industry for like 13 years on manufacturing mass production. And then we have, for example, Marcin, who's my co-founder, and he's like 10, 12 companies that he helped to grow. For example, Photon, Polish startup that is doing the robots. He helped them. Then, for example, there's Radek, who's like experienced programmer, like 7 or 8 years of experience, and he's doing this.
Okay, got it. If I understand something, if I agree with something, I'm gonna interrupt. Sorry.
No worries.
10K. You need 10K. What's the offer? What's the actual offer? Have you thought about that?
Well, of course, we can promote you after our Kickstarter campaigns and thank you letter, personally, hundreds and everything. I will not give equity for 10K. That's no way at all. But I can go, for example, for dinner and pay for the dinner, of course.
I've got a question. How big is the market?
Okay, so, right now, the market for the sliders, roughly going, for example, directly from Facebook Power Editor, when we just chose the, let's say, interest that we think of, is roughly around 30 to 40 millions at the moment of people in the world. And for example, just from Kickstarter backers, we're roughly targeting around 600,000 people. So
Where did you get that number from?
Facebook Power Editor, where we just show so many interests that we want to go for, and then that's it. Yeah, and for example, if you go for pro slider markets, then there are like 10 to 15 companies, each is selling like 500 devices per month, and those companies are selling very, very non-scalable, bulky sliders for pros, and we are going for mass production.
Judges, I'd ask you for a final comment on our first startup.
Yeah, I still don't understand. So you haven't told me where are you going to use the money for? But you talk about
the
Kickstarter.
10K.
Wait a second.
Of course.
You talk about Kickstarter all the time, which is like the best thing in the world, which is fine because you're bootstrapping yourself. The second thing, you're not telling me how much ownership I might get against the 2,000. The third thing is that you haven't talked about value and the competitors. I mean, I have told you about Lily and the drones and everything. And you seem to say, well, they're rubbish, but they're selling effectively, and the pros are selling. And as he said, I mean, taking that to film that is extremely heavy. I mean, it has to be light. And then selling this on 300 euros or dollars or zlotys, whatever you want to call it, it has to be very worthy because it's not cheap. So how are you going to compete, position yourself? How are you going to use the money? And I haven't seen that.
Well, I said in the last slide.
I think it's time for a final comment because we're at 15 minutes. So final comments from the judges, please.
I must say it's very much detached from what I do every day, and I'm just not getting it.
I didn't really get to this monthly fee yet, but please don't answer. But I understand it's part of your business model as well. For the single reason that we are here to talk about the deal, talk about the offer, and you haven't presented the offer, I would be out. I know you need 10K. I have no idea, except for this dinner, expensive dinner, what you would do with that.
All right, we're gonna end on that. Round of applause for InMotion Startup.
Thank you.